Hello, Toby. We're here backstage at your annual Toby Keith and Friends Golf Classic pre-night auction and entertainment. This is the 15th anniversary for this fundraiser. Are you excited with how far it's come?
15 years. I actually have some big donors and celebrities that have texted. I'm going to recognize some of them tonight, but they've been to all 15. It's pretty crazy. It's really hard to be that dedicated to show up 15 years in a row. I wouldn't show up anybody else's crap for 15 years, but they've shown up here, and it just shows that we had a void in our community, and I was called upon in my heart to go fill that void, and the community rallied behind me, and now we handle over 300 families a year right across the street from the Children's Medical Center, and I'm so proud of it. It's one of my greatest feats outside of my kids, you know.
But is it still feel like it was a calling when you go in? Because it's been open for a few years now. When you go in there, does it still feel like something that you were really called to do?
Well, it goes on. We can't, we don't charge anything, so these people come from all over the United States, maybe all over the world, and they stay with us for 3 months, and all that's required is that you have a sick kid and that you're across the street and you need a place to stay. We don't have very many rules, you know, and so when people show up, they're desperate. Usually one of the family members, in typical normal family situations, usually one of the family members, the mother or the father, stays on the job, and the other one comes and brings a kid to treatment, and they find a Motel 6 or somebody's house, you know, stay at somebody's house that has extra room that's affiliated to the hospital, and that's all good and fine. We try to put everybody together under one roof to where all the kids look the same, all the parents have the same shortcomings at that time, and there's power in that therapy, and it's the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen, and I'm so proud of it.
So that's not the only anniversary, one of the big anniversaries that you have. You're celebrating the 25th anniversary of your first hit, Should Have Been a Cowboy. What do you remember about writing that song 25 years ago?
It happened in one night, and I tell everybody I wrote it in 20 minutes. I had it written in 20 minutes, but I went back and fine-tuned it, you know. I mean, I changed the ifs and the ands and the buts, crossed the t's, but it was pretty much 95% done in 20 minutes. But the greatest songs that I've ever written in my life that I think were good didn't take very long, you know, and very few of them have gone away and came back. They're either laying there or they're not, you know, and so when they pop out, they just come to you, and all of life that you've been absorbing is sitting there waiting on you, and you just plug it in, and when it works, it makes you feel good. But I was in Dodge City, Kansas, and a guy said to another guy, in all honesty, you should have been a cowboy, when a girl didn't dance with him in his hunting clothes, and I thought, man, that sounds like a song idea, and it was all over me, and I went back, and we all 2 hunters to a room. My roommate was Freddie Cortez, who used to own, he's passed away now, but he used to own Chastain's and a lot of country bars in town. And Freddie went to sleep, and I didn't want to wake him because he is hateful when you wake him up. And I went in the bathroom, shut the door, and wrote it down and put it in my bag. Went hunting the next day and came home and revisited it and said, I'm gonna record this song, and it's the foundation for me of everything I did.
So let's talk about your new song with Lance Carpenter, anyone else, and sort of how that song came together.
Lance and I have been writing together for a couple years, and he came into the studio because we wrote a song together that I cut for the EP, and then I also cut another song he wrote for the EP that I was not a writer on, and he just hadn't really heard me sing outside of a writer's room where you're not really using your full like studio voice. And he had this duet that he had kind of kept in his back pocket, and he had already cut it and tracked it and done everything. He just hadn't found the female that he wanted on it, and asked me if I'd do it, and I didn't know what we would do with it. I didn't know what his plans were, and it came back and everyone was so excited that we just decided to kind of push back the single that we had planned for my EP and add this to the EP and use this as the first single.
So how was it whenever you went to sing it? I mean, was it sort of like an immediate sort of like, yes, our two voices go together, or I belong on the song?
I mean, I loved the song initially. We went in and it was just the two of us and an engineer. It wasn't like a big studio production because he had already tracked. So it was just final vocals, just the two of us, and it was really laid back, no pressure, because again, we didn't have plans to release it or anything. We didn't know what he'd do with it. So I just went in and it was just very comfortable and natural, and obviously, you know, he has a great voice. So I knew that we both love the song, and I thought that our voices would go well together, but several months later when we got the full mix back, it was pretty magical.
So I guess I mean, you guys moved forward with it. It's been getting a lot of buzz and good momentum. So
yeah.
I guess, how does that make you feel about your new music that's coming out?
It's exciting because, you know, I've been off. I took off to the second half of my pregnancy, and then Hensley's whole first year. So her whole second year I wrote and recorded. So it's been a while since I've had new music out, and it's fun to finally have something. I've been saying for the past year, I want my fans to have something new. It's all been about the fans for the last year, and to see that come to fruition and know that they love everything they've heard so far is pretty special.
So let's talk a little bit about your EP. It's called Boulder, and let's tell people a little bit about what they can expect.
Yeah, with this album, so my first record, I was really focused on showing how eclectic like an artist I am. I really wanted to show that I'll do blues, traditional country, mainstream country, a little southern rock, a little bit of everything, because I've seen so many people boxed into kind of one sound, and I hate defining a sound on an artist. So the one thing that I feel like I didn't do on my first album is really showcase the power ballad side of me that really is my wheelhouse and what I love to do. So so I made sure that was on this record.